There's hay. When is it? 10:30. It is on the 1.
Jerry Reed. Was that Jerry Reed? That was Jerry Reed. That was last week, Michael.
All right, now that Michael's got everybody's attention, we have a song coming up, so we will introduce these folks here, and Matt, Trina, and Steve, and they have a great song to start us off.
Okay, and Sam, if you'll scoot us all the way through to the lyrics of this, I'd like to teach you the refrain, the chorus, so you can sing along. It's pretty simple, so I'll run through it once. Keep going, keep going, keep going. There we go. So the melody goes like this. Let's get real, let's get right, push our fears to the side. Let's get real, let's get right, recognize our own light. Get right, get real, get right, and realize our life. Realize our life. So if you'd like to stand as you're comfortable, and then when you feel like you have the groove of it, join in. Let's get real, let's get right, put our fears to the side. Let's get real, let's get right, recognize our life. Get right, get real, get right, realize our life. Realize our life.
Sometimes fear is like a ball and chain, keeps us in our place. But if we take a leap of faith, it carries us away.
Let's get real, let's get right, push our fears to the side. Let's get real, let's get right, recognize our own life. Get right, get real, get right, realize our life, realize our life. Sometimes we get so low, sometimes get too high, sometimes we can't see the road right before our eyes. Let's get real, let's get right, push our fears to the side. Let's get real, let's get right, recognize our own life. Get right, get real, get right, realize our life, realize our life, realize our life. Let's get real, let's get right, push our fears to the side. Let's get real, let's get right, recognize our own life. Get right, get real, get right, realize our life, realize our life, realize our life.
That's a Matt original. He didn't announce that early.
All right, we're going to turn it over to Bruce, who is Master of Ceremonies this morning.
They call me Bruce. Does anybody know that movie?
Almighty?
I guess not. No, that's a different one.
Oh, thank you.
Anyway, it's good to be with you all here today. Do you remember that? Nobody knows that movie.
Bruce Almighty, yeah.
Was that the one? No, it was like a fake Bruce Lee movie.
Oh.
Anyway. All right, well, good morning. And as is recommended practice in life, let's start with gratitudes and prayer requests. Who has that microphone? Sue. And now's the time to share what is happening with you. In the sharing, we see the value of collectively affirming with you and those you pray with that the presence of good is in all feelings, and it is the one power. We also support each other in knowing that God, the universe, spirit, whatever you call it, knows the details. Does anyone have a gratitude or prayer request they would like to share with the community? Mary.
Hi, for those of you who haven't seen me forever. My prayer is connected to Mother Nature. Unfortunately, thank God I don't live near the east side where it was more flooding, but Betsy and I had flooding, don't ask, we live in Belmont, into our garage when it rained really hard. So I heard it's supposed to rain a couple inches or so today, so I guess my prayer is, Mother Nature, don't pour hard near my door.
Thank you for sharing. Anyone else?
Tony, I'm coming. I have a prayer request for a gentleman and his family. His name is Randy. If we could hold him in our thoughts for the best possible outcome and comfort during this troubling time. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Yeah, one over here.
I was thinking of holding space for the differences that often occur between communities, between fundamentalists and more New Thought. They don't share the idea of unification. And so I'm trying to bridge that. I'm absolutely terrified of my family, and which, I mean, some of the most righteous people I've ever known. But yet, you know, I'm afraid to say the wrong thing or to use the wrong language and, you know, tip my hand, because I do use New Thought terminology. So I just thought, just kind of holding space that, you know, we're in this together whether we agree or not.
Indeed. We
Nicely said.
share much more than we have differences over, but it seems like all we talk about are the differences. Thank you. Anyone else? Well, I have one. I had just got out of COVID jail last Sunday. So I had a round of it, but I was very fortunate. It's a very mild case, and to prove it, I ran 12 miles yesterday with some friends. So I think I'm back. I can smell stuff again, too. So I'm very grateful for modern medicine, and including Joe Biden's Paxlovid treatment, which worked for me, and I didn't rebound. So anyway, anybody else? Yeah, go ahead, Steve.
I'm thankful our neighbors invited us over to share watching their son do a jazz concert in Philadelphia at a club there. And he just graduated from college, and he's in this professional band, and he's teaching and he's doing all these different things. And it was just quite amazing to see and hear.
That's very cool. Amazing what technology can do, and how we've all gotten better at it over the last few years, huh? Thank you. Anyone else? We are grateful for all the requests and good news that we have just heard. Again, we affirm that each condition, person, and situation is an expression of the divine. We claim love, wisdom, healing, and wholeness. We remember that no circumstance changes or separates us from our divinity. And so it is, and so we let it be. Thank you to the members of the prayer team. I'm not sure if we have any with us today. Prayer team member? Oh, we do. Thank you, Helen. Yeah, it looks like you're doing solo duty today. Glad you're here. Our prayer team members are available to pray with you after the service, and that would be over in this meditation prayer room over here. And you may also write your request and place them in the prayer box, which is also just over there around the piano. And they will be prayed over by our prayer team, and then sent on to Unity Village, where they will be prayed over for an additional 30 days. So thank you. Now we all affirm our unity principle. Can you pop that one up, Sam? Yeah, I think you got to keep going here. There it is. Today we're doing number 3, which we all guessed at because nobody told us. So let's say this together. Thoughts have creative power to determine events and attract experiences. All right. So today Matt's message is going to be listen to the music. This is as opposed to face the music, I suppose. We've all had both of those experiences many times. But there's another way to experience music too, and that is performing it. Music has played an inspiring, comforting, and creative role in my life, at least since I was 8, when I took up a musical instrument in elementary school. That eventually, for me, led to an offer for a music scholarship in college, something I declined since my goals were laser focused on a career in forestry at that point. But I quickly realized that I really missed playing, and although I resumed oboe for a couple of quarters in college, what really hooked me was an increased focus on playing guitar and writing music and singing along with it. I was terrible. But I stayed with it for several years, not getting better, but finding it really brought me happiness or solace, depending upon my mood. It also helped my relationship with one particular woman by a song I sang to her. I think she appreciated one I wrote specifically to her, but this other by Donovan has perhaps become our song. Every once in a while I still sing it to her. It's a little fantasy he wrote called Voyage of the Moon. Later, singing John Prine songs to our young children as we traveled around one place to another became a source of entertainment for our entire family. Excuse me just a minute. They would ask me to sing Dear Abby and Please Don't Bury Me. And if you know those songs, you also know that they have at least one naughty lyric in them, which I'm sure we all pretended that isn't why they asked me to sing them, but that, of course, is exactly why they did. So, still not a great singer, but several years later with Master Chorale, my first formal singing training has helped a bunch with pitch and interpretation of music. And life goes on, and now I'm on the cusp, treading the metaphorical water of increasing skill and decreasing voice with age. So I continue singing nonetheless, making a joyful noise unto Spirit. In celebration and gladness for this life, I encourage you all to do the same. Don't let anybody tell you you can't sing. You can sing. Just do it. Meadow morning mist, larkspur and lupin lucent. Sing, O Spirit, sing. Okay, and as we prepare for meditation, Steve and Trina and Matt are going to sing, I believe, or is this just him? Are you doing this by yourself? Okay, I'm getting out of your way. She's waiting for me to get out of her way.
Grab your coat and grab your hat. Leave your worries by the doorstep. Just direct your feet to the sunny side of the street. Can you hear that pitter-pat? Yes, that happy tune is your step. Life can be so sweet on the sunny side of the street. I used to walk in the shade with those blues on parade, but now I'm not afraid. This rover crossed over, and if I never had a cent, I'd be rich as Rockefeller. Gold dust at my feet on the sunny side of the street. Grab your coat and get your hat. Leave your worries on the doorstep. Just direct your feet to the sunny side of the street. Can you hear that pitter-pat? Yes, that happy tune is your step. Life can be so sweet on the sunny side of the street. I used to walk in the shade with those blues on parade. But now I'm not afraid. This rover's crossed over, and if I never had a cent, I'd be rich as Rockefeller. Gold dust on my feet on the sunny side of the street.
Yeah. Beautiful, guys. Good morning. So, right off the bat, forgot probably the most important thing we bring here. The two tools of unity are prayer and meditation. I skipped right over and introduced Bruce. So, let's take a moment and let's just settle back in our seats and say a prayer together. We are in a powerful place with powerful energy sitting all around us. Let's feel that energy. Let's take it in. Let's take it out into the street and let's share it with people regardless of their denomination or their belief. And make both sides a sunny side of the street. Amen. So our meditation this morning is a little bit different because, first of all, I don't have Penny's skill at leading a meditation, and so I don't have that. But I do, meditation by definition is a mental exercise that we do to go inward and to lift us up to a higher spiritual place. So taking that definition, I want to take you through a meditation like I've used intuitively since I was a little kid, when I first discovered this thing called music. So I'll give you a quick example and then I'll lead you through a music meditation. So when Josie and I, my wife Josie, and I lived in Phoenix, we had tickets to the Phoenix Symphony Orchestra for several years, and the tickets weren't cheap, so Josie would give me a hard time when we would walk out, saying, "I can't believe you slept through the," and I would say, "I was not sleeping," and I truly wasn't, because it just, she said there was snoring involved. I don't believe it. But when I would go to the symphony, I would close my eyes, and I would feel this energy from all different directions, intertwined and mixing and painting pictures. And if I closed my eyes, that music painted a picture for me, and it soothed me, and it healed me. And I walked out of there feeling great, and Josie said it was because of the nap, but I swear to you it wasn't. So I'm going to lead you through an exercise, and what I would ask a couple of things. First, that you just make yourself really comfortable in your chair, and that as you listen and watch this performance, do a couple things. We are energy. That's what we are. You and I are energy. And the music coming from these individuals is energy that they're sharing with us. And it's tuned to a particular frequency. And the frequency that these individuals are singing is that of joy and love. You'll see it and hear it and feel it. This is my favorite musical group, and I drive Josie nuts because I'm constantly watching and listening to these guys. But so first of all, feel those frequencies and let yourself tune in to that frequency. And then the other thing I would ask is that you open up to the lyrics that are being sung, because they're beautiful lyrics of joy and love. And then lastly, I just want you to watch and listen and feel the joy that they're performing with, because I think you'll start to feel that joy before the song's over. So if I could have someone get the lights for me and turn the lights down. Thanks, Brandon. And then, yeah, let's crank this up, Sam, and let's enjoy. Please, internet work.
witness we thought we'd become. We were so young. Before mom and dad went gray, before my friends moved away, I never thought I'd feel this way, but I do. Before I knew what it meant to love somebody you can't get, and fight these voices in your head that tell you what to do. When did the simple things get so complicated? When did the future stop feeling so far? When did our lives decide to play out like they did? We get smarter, farther we go. In the grass, talking and holding it, so we thought it would last. All of the things we had, ran out of bad. Back on the past someday, maybe I'll laugh. We were so young, before mom and dad went gray, before my friends moved away. Never thought I'd feel this way, but I do. Before I knew what it meant to try to love someone you can, fight the voices in your head and tell you what to do. When the simple things get so complicated, when the future stop feeling so far, when our lives decide to play like they do, it's like farther we go.
So that is. Nice. When Bruce said joyful noise, I thought, yeah, nice, Bruce, because that's what I think of when I hear a group perform like that. And it just, and maybe it's just me, but my head is tingling. When I watch them and hear them, I get this tingling. Hey, Brandon, would you turn the lights back up? Thank you. But it's just, it truly is a meditation for me that takes my body somewhere. So sometimes it is every bit as powerful as the other two tools that we use here at Unity. So our message today is music as a spiritual tool. Listen to the music as a spiritual tool. So I want it to be a little bit of an interactive, so I hope I don't see anybody's eyeballs rolling, because I hate that when I have to go somewhere and they make me participate. Michael's already rolling his eyeballs. But I want to start off talking about aha moments that I've had in my life where I found that musical was this powerful, powerful force that changed the direction of my life. And I'm just going to share one of those. The earliest one I can remember, I was 7 years old. It was my birthday. And at my household, for birthdays, you either got a book, because we lived in Phoenix and it was 500 degrees outside and we didn't have air conditioning, so you crawled under a cool rock and read in the summer, or you got a ball or a bat or a helmet or a stick, because we did sports. There's no, music wasn't a thing, which was weird that I grew up in the household that music wasn't, no one in my family played music, or music wasn't a big thing. So, but for some reason on my 7th birthday, I got a transistor radio. Now it was in the shape of a softball. It was just this round thing with laces on it, and but one little part was cut out for the display, and the little, little things you turn to make the arm go across and change channels. So I got that radio, and I waited until we had gone to bed, and then my brothers, we shared a little 11 by 11. Me and 2 of my brothers stayed in this little room, and so I crawled in my bunk bed, and I waited till Pat's arm stopped, because he did this thing where his arm would sway back and forth, and I'd at night watch this arm go, and I'd I know he was asleep when that arm stopped. So I knew Pat was asleep. And then my little brother talked in his sleep. So I waited till Pat's arm stopped and Ted started his rambling. And I crawled under the covers and I took that little transistor radio and I put it up to my ear and just barely turned the volume up so I wouldn't wake anybody. And I scrolled through the radio stations. And at first I had static and then talk radio. It was AM radio in the 1967. Static talk. And then all of a sudden I heard this sound that went something like this. Oh, no. Come back here, piece. So, close your eyes, girl. Look inside, girl. Let it away. And I was like, mind blown. Steppenwolf, Magic Carpet Ride. For years since then, I have this. Even today, probably don't tell my wife, oh, we're on YouTube, sorry. But I have this little dream where I'm on a magic carpet ride with this beautiful girl floating away. It's Josie now, it's Josie. But, for years I had that. And so I caught the song about halfway through, and so I didn't know how radio worked. I mean, it was the first time with a radio. And so I thought, well, just keep skimming, I'll hear that again. So I'm skimming through, I must have gone till 4 in the morning. I never heard it again that night, but I did hear the other songs of that day, Hey Jude and Jumpin' Jack Flash, Hurdy-Gurdy Man, Harper Valley PTA. These it was like, I couldn't believe this was out there, and I was 7 years old and I hadn't heard it. So it like opened a window or a door or a chasm to this world of adventure that I knew I was going to get to travel on, and it changed my life. I know that everybody in here has had those aha moments. So what I'd like you to do, if you would indulge me, is we're going to just take a moment of silence, and I want you to drift back and let your memories carry you away, because music is completely tied to memory. And I want you to go back to a time in your life. It could have been a wedding, could have been a concert, could have been a family gathering, somewhere where music was important in your life, and feel, first of all, what was it you were hearing? What was going on in your life? Who were the people that you could share that with in your life? So let's take a moment of silence. Just sit back in your chair and let's go back. Okay, if you'll start coming back into the room and bring your attention back up. So, now the hard part, I'd like you to share that with someone, to turn to someone in the room and share it. But let's be careful as we do this exercise that there's not someone, remember me in 7th grade where I never got to be on the dance floor. I was always over in the corner pretending I was shooting baskets because I was too shy. So let's make sure that everybody has somebody in groups of 2, but if there's somebody left out, pull them into a group of 3, and we'll give you 90 seconds to share. So if there's 3 of you, that means you only have 30 seconds each, so make sure you don't monopolize. If there's 2 of you, you have 45 seconds each, but let's find somebody and let's share our memories. So hi, tubers. How are you? Glad you joined us. If you want to go ahead and share with us your experience of an aha musical moment, we'd love to hear it, and either myself or Sam will respond to you. Thanks for joining us. Have a great day. So about 30 seconds. Finish up your conversation. You have about 30 seconds. Okay, finish up your last thought, and then we'll come back up front. Okay, so let's bring our attention back up to the front. Thank you. It's always hard to finish up a conversation like that, so thank you. So, yeah, I bet. So I would love to share some of those out, but we're on a really, I don't want to keep people forever, but is there anybody that just heard not your own, but heard someone else's that just made you go, wow? So if we're just going to do a couple, but all right, Tony's going to share. And I'm sorry, sure, she's sharing Bernadette. So if you want to bring the mic over, thank you, Sue.
Although the title of the song couldn't be recalled, but it was by the Red Hot Chili Peppers and Dancing and Her Friend and Wonderful Times. But there was a particular song when she was in college that helped her through to move on. So we're going to try and figure out what song it is, because I can relate, because pretty much every day of my life is a new adventure, and it isn't just going off to college or getting a divorce or moving or, getting another gray hair. It's pretty much every day, so it really touched my heart.
Nice, nice. Anybody else have one? Okay. Larry.
Well, I'm trying to let other people share first, and she spoke of the death of JFK and a dirge that she played in her own adolescence, and it just shocked me to the point I could hardly remember my own story. But I wanted to honor you for this teaching style. I've had vision of this, and I believe that it's vastly, it implants the message. The teaching style that you're using, I love it. Thank you.
Thank you. Wow, let's do one more. Anybody else have one? Okay, Michael, you're up. This mic.
Well, I was stationed in it was in the Navy, stationed at the Philadelphia Naval Base. And one of the songs it always play, and I was thinking, when we had Liberty in downtown Philadelphia, that one song, this was in the 60s, it was Downtown by Petula Clark. And that was, talk about getting, we're getting Liberty, But they play that song every time we went into Philadelphia. You'd hear that song. I mean, it was over and again. It was downtown.
Nice. So the memories that are tied to music, it's surprising that you would think of JFK and a song that went with that. And those, that one is pretty amazing to go back to something so specific as that. But music is tied to memory, and the work that's being done with Alzheimer's patients points to that. If you follow the story of Glenn Campbell, who was an amazing musician and singer, his last tour, his farewell tour, he was already suffering from the disease. And you hear these stories of family. He took his family, basically went on tour with him and would help strap the guitar on and help point him in the direction. And I was almost bringing tears to my eyes. But he once he got in front of that microphone and strummed the guitar, everything came back to him and everything was right in his life. So music is a powerful, powerful force in our life, our memory. So yes, Kate. One more quick one that's similar. Yes, can we get the mic back there? Yeah. She's trying to fight her way through the crowd.
Thank you. I was thinking about, I'm a physical therapist and I work with patients with neurological issues. And there was a powerful experience when I was a student about 15 years ago where a woman who's Filipino-American was walking on a walker with Parkinson's disease, and she was struggling with initiating any steps. And her daughter was with her at the session, and my clinical instructor turned on traditional Filipino music. And she stood up straighter and left her walker and started dancing. And she danced like she did as a child, and her daughter's over there bawling. And the music stopped, and we caught her and brought her back to her walker.
Oh my,
Yeah.
my gosh, Katie, that's yeah.
Bruce, wait, Bruce.
I don't remember his name, but there was a name actor who was in a
Mel
auto-
Tillis?
Was that who?
Mel Tillis?
Was it Mel? No, this was a rock singer, but he was in an accident, and then he couldn't talk after that. But when he could sing, it just went away. The speech impediment went away. It was from
And
some brain injury.
And if
that he
you
received.
talk to speech therapists, that's a common story. You know, even Ed Sheeran, who had a funny birthmark on it. You guys know who Ed Sheeran is? Come on. Superstar Michael, come on. Anyways, before our time. He's before our time. Or after our time. I don't know. After our time. Anyways, he had a birthmark removed, and they put some chemical on there, and they forgot him and went away and came back hours later, and he was burned and couldn't or spoke with a real bad lisp and had to stutter and a lisp, and he came back from that partially by singing or mostly by singing. So yeah, and then his speaking actually caught up with it. So music is a powerful force. It's powerful in other ways too. Think of the 60s and the social justice movement, and what do you think of? Bob Dylan. Okay. Yeah, the Byrds, Bob Dylan. You think of, I mean, music was at the forefront of that social justice movement. We Shall Overcome, Martin Luther. Yeah. Think of churches, political rallies, sporting events. What do you hear? What do you hear besides the jargon of whatever that is? You hear music. That music is a powerful at the front in churches, political rallies, political parties. I was having a conversation with Mel this morning about movies. So you think of movies and the powerful role that music plays in movies. In fact, if you went to a movie and they took that music out in these days and times, I think you would have a hard time because directors use music to foreshadow. And they use it to fool you. Think about, I forget, what's it called, where they keep switching you think you know who the bad guy. Yeah, The Sting did it. Remember the movie The Sting? You thought you knew who the bad guy was, and they flip it on someone. But yeah, and they'll use the music to make you think someone's bad, and then so you know that's the bad guy, and then at the end you're like, oh my gosh, and it was a specific use of music. So music's used. Think about corporations who recycle famous rock, folk, pop songs to sell their product. Why does that work? Because we love that song. So if I love that song, your product's okay. So it's a powerful force. Say that again? Yeah. Oh, I never in my day thought I would hear Led Zeppelin on TV, on commercials, but yeah. So those songs get recycled because people want to sell their product. Yeah. Oh. No, actually not. The Coke songs were written by a group called the Limelighters. They were a pop group, and the Coke took that product. I have a friend, we'll have to talk later, Keith, that actually went on to sing with the Limelighters after the old guys died, and he just retired last week. That's why it's on my mind. But so yeah, the Coke song was a famous pop song. Made that group actually made the Limelighters popular. So I'm trying to think where I was going with that. So there's a reason why we write or we put together playlists. Did you ever do that? Bruce probably did. Put together a playlist for their girlfriend, give them a CD or, I want you to know who I am, so here's my music. Okay, well, yeah. Bruce had to sing it to Bonnie. I'm going to sing in my playlist. There's a reason why the bride walks down the aisle to a song. There is a reason why songs are important at funerals when we're honoring someone that's passed. Music plays a critical role in our life. It also tells stories. So between 30,000 and 300,000 years ago, I know that's a big span of uncertainty, but somewhere in there, man started passing down songs as stories to pass along to generations. And the reason there's that big gap is we don't have the evidence of the stuff. The first written piece of music was from the Ming Dynasty 30,000 years ago that they passed down. But I know it was used way before then, that we sang around a campfire. And it's a powerful way of teaching. In school, my wife used music for her classroom. So when kids came in, there would be a song on, and it was setting the mood of the classroom. When that song switched, the kids were trained. They knew, oh, we need to be in our desks now, sitting up, ready to go. When it was time for kids to work independently, there was a song that played, kind of and then when that song started, she had a song, it was Van Morrison, The Bright Side of the Road came on. That meant it was cleanup time. We need to get, everything's put away. By the end of this song, you're put away. So people who learn to songs can recall that stuff. It's a tool used for people that are in memory competitions, which is actually a thing. Didn't know that, but music competitions are a thing. Or memory competitions are a thing. Music competitions are a thing too, American Idol. Right. So it actually, there's research that shows that a student who is learning an instrument will score better on standardized tests in school. Not only that, they tend to do better in school in general, students who play an instrument. Neural pathways, just like when you're learning a new language, neural pathways, so there are dual language classes now for little kids that come up so they can learn 2 languages at once. Just in the same way that they build extra neural pathways, that's the same thing happens when students are learning music. It's a powerful, powerful tool. It also helps us express ourselves, and Bruce talked a little bit about this when he was writing songs. So for me, I can express things through songs that I would never broach, topics I wouldn't talk about because I'm too manly. Right? I'm about as since I cry at every chick flick there is, but it does help me express things that I wouldn't have otherwise done. In fact, I had the opportunity when my mom passed, I wrote her a song and played at her funeral. When Josie's dad, who I adored, got sick and had terminal cancer, I wrote a song for him, and I had a chance. We went and stayed with him for the last summer he was alive, and I had a chance to play that song for him, and he asked me to play it at his funeral. I was so honored to do so. And then when my father passed, I wrote a song for him for his memorial service. So those kind of things, in fact, songs that have a personal touch to them and were something that I wrote to help me get through a struggle are the songs that I continue to play over time. And I'd like to share one of those. It's a song I wrote for my mom. It's not really about my mom, but it's about the teaching my mom had. My mom was full of wisdom. You might not know it because she was a little out there, but she was really a smart woman. Just maybe not she couldn't add 2 + 4. She didn't know the difference between 2/3 and 3/4, but when it came to life, she was a smart woman. So she, and a free spirit, I remember a time when Josie first met her, we were going to meet him at a restaurant. I was explaining how my mom was a free spirit, and she dressed she was a little out there in her dress, and when we were growing up, she made bell-bottom pants. We wore the flag to school in bell-bottoms, and just the craziest things you ever. So I never got to wear a pair of Levi's till I was in high school. My mom made my clothes. But so we're waiting outside the Spaghetti Company, which was a restaurant on Mill Avenue in Tempe at the time, and we see this lady coming down the street with a hat about this wide and this long flowing dress and red Doc Martens up to her ankles. And I said, that's probably her, and we laughed. And pretty soon she got a little closer and she went, Maddie, woo! And I'm like, oh, no, it's my mom. So, but as a sensitive young man, I would get down on myself, and my mom would tell me, buck up, Matt. Who's going to know in 100 years? Let it go. So this is a song called Matty Boy. Looking back now, I can smile, but it took me a little while. A little too skinny and way too shy, and my hair kind of wild. And my idle soul was out of sorts with the teenage diplomats. When I get feeling low, my mama would say, son, don't you let them go. It doesn't matter what they say, doesn't matter what they do. 'Cause who's gonna know in 100 years? Come on, Matty boy. Who's gonna know in 100 years? It's time to let this go. Come on, Matty boy. I used to love to watch her breeze in a room with a smile upon her face. The soft white light of innocence exposing all the fakes. But every now and then I'd find myself caught up in the same old games, wondering if they remember me. Do they even know my name? But it doesn't matter what they say, doesn't matter what they do. 'Cause who's gonna know in 100 years? Time to let it go. Who's gonna know in 100 years? Come on, Matty boy. It's time to let this go. Sometimes I miss her smile, the crazy things she'd do. Funny how some folks know just who they are. Red Doc Martens and gypsy dress, a flower child in the rain. I'm gonna do my best to live my life that way. Doesn't matter what they say, doesn't matter what they do. Who's gonna know in 100 years? Come on, Matty boy, it's time to let it go. Thank you. So 4 years ago, Josie and I came here to Flagstaff, and one of our things we really wanted to make sure we did is find a spiritual community. A group of folks we could have fun with, hang out, laugh, and shared the same kind of belief system in life. So we landed at a spot here in Flagstaff, and wonderful people, very friendly. Minister was a little dry, and the music was hymns from the 16th century, which I don't know if you know much about hymns from the 16th century, but they don't speak the same kind of English we do. So you'd be looking at the words going, what is that? And then the melodies were so bland, it was like, we both walk out going, okay, we got to find something else. So Josie found this dance studio on that by downtown, where this church was having services in a dance studio. And we went and met these guys. That was the first guy I met right there.
Stop all the dancing, give me time to breathe.
That's the first thing he said to me. But despite that, I know, seriously, Sean Dennehy, who was this amazing musician, bluegrass guy, was doing the music. And so we were like doing Swing Wide the Doors, which I'd never even heard before, but it was fantastic, bluegrass style. He's doing these, and we're like, and we were hooked. So we've been at Unity since, and it was the power of music and Penny and these folks, these wonderful folks that brought us back time and again. So music as a spiritual tool. So how do I make that leap? Well, prayer. One way people pray is they repeat kind of a mantra. They have something that they say over and over that's their belief system until it becomes part of them. Well, I liken that to a chorus. Think of Led Zeppelin and maybe not use Led Zeppelin. Let's think of some. But a chorus that repeats over and over those emotions and belief systems that you say, to me, that's a mantra, that's a prayer. And if you look at meditation, almost every meditation has music behind it that sets the mood, that helps take us inward. So 5-6 months ago, we were having a music Sunday here, and Bruce got up and talked about something called doom scrolling. And I had never heard of the term. It was not something in my radar at all. It was something, however, I did, where I would get my phone out. There'd be 3 minutes. You'd be standing around, you'd pull your phone out, and you flip on your whatever news channel. There's hundreds of them out there. And you scroll through it, and you read the headlines, and you sink a little lower, and then you read the next headline, and you sink a little lower. And then you put your phone away, and you try to go back to life in a positive way. And wow, for someone sensitive like me, it's not easy. I don't know how many times when one of the recent presidents, I won't mention the name, but one of the presidents from not too distant past was elected, I was sick for weeks. I was sick. And we can't go through life like that. Yes, we need to be informed, but as Bruce reminded us that once a day might be enough to check the news, and you don't need to live it. You're not changing it. Just get yourself informed and go out there and do what you have to in society. But there are other ways to fill those couple minutes a day. And so I have gone back to filling that with music, which is what I did when I was young, but I'd kind of forgotten. So I want you to try this at home. This is not one of those don't try this at home. This is a do try this at home. Fill those minutes with music that lifts you up, whether that's from the 30s with the beautiful song like Steve and Trina shared a minute ago, or whatever it is. And I don't know about you, but I was kind of lost in a spot where I couldn't find a stylist for my turntable anymore. I sold all my records up here for $37. I had 240 records that I spent, tons of money on. I gave away because I thought records were over. The way you listen has changed. So whether it's on your phone or whether it's because we all don't have those big speakers in the corner anymore, and we have little Alexa or whatever and our phone. So, but find a way. And I found the way is I watch YouTube, and I've found some people that are amazing performers, and I go to them. The band you saw earlier is called Walk Off the Earth, and I watch at least one of their videos every day. And they are so uplifting. And really the two in the middle are a husband-wife team, and they're so loving and kind and caring. And it's a beautiful thing. So I'd like to leave you with one of their over 300 videos to just finish the talk off. So this is called Listen to the Music. It's a Doobie Brothers song, but you've never heard it like this. So this is Walk Off the Earth. Namaste, my friends. Oh, sorry.
Don't you feel it growing day by day? People are getting ready for the news. Some are happy, some are sad.
Yeah, sing along.
Oh, we gotta let the music play. What the people need is a way to make them smile. It ain't so hard to do if you know how. You gotta get a message, get it on through. Oh, now mama's going to act her out. Oh, 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 listen to the music. Oh, oh, surrounding castles in the sky, and the crowd is growing bigger, listening for the happy sounds and the counts to let them fly. Oh, 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 listen to the music. Oh, 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 listen to the music. Oh, 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 listen to the music all the time. Oh, 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 listen to the music. Oh, 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 listen to the music. Oh, 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 listen to the music all the time. Come on, let the music play.
All right, Bruce, you're on. Take us away, Bruce.
Well, Matt, thank you. Okay, so where are we? Okay, we'll have our time of abundant sharing in just a moment, and but in the meantime, we are gonna. There's no announcements today, so Penny says, but there are actually some reminders, which might as well be announcements. So, we need 5, count them, 5 people for the Flagstaff Family Food Center sign up today for tomorrow. So, how many people here might be available tomorrow? Is that from 3:15 to 5:30? Please, show of hands. I'm going to sit here with my arms crossed till I see 5. There, I see one in the back. There's one. Somebody snuck in that isn't supposed to be here. Yes. We have a couple. So do we have 3 yet? Oh, thank you, Kay. I see you. Okay, so we are there. Yeah, so who's that person in the back anyway? Oh, it's a good thing we didn't do what we were planning on doing. Let's just go to Grand Canyon Brewery and hold it outside over there. Sam said he could stream it on his phone. So. Okay. Oh, you do? Penny, is that okay? Yes, absolutely. All right. You told me I could. All right, somebody get that man a microphone. Okay, I'm repeating verbatim so they can hear it on. You know I cannot do Flagstaff Family Food Center anymore. I got smacked in that side of the head, and now I just lay down in the kitchen and don't clean dishes, unless I'm at home and my wife tells me I have to. Okay, so what Michael's talking about for the YouTubers is we are going to do our next trash pickup on the 20th of August. Okay, it's the 20th. We're doing it on the 20th of August. I guess she's going to be very lonely, or maybe we'll have lots of stuff to add to her pile there, depending on what you find on the side of the highway. Thank you, Michael. There will be an announcement about that. In the announcements. Come on up. Yeah. Bonnie, can you bring that heavy can over here? I've got a few more of these to say right now, but I'd like you guys up here anyway so we can jump right on this. And Trina, I will get out of your way at the right time. Okay, today at noon, there's A Course in Miracles. They're going to be talking about that and unity, and there's going to be a discussion on that. And what unity and A Course in Miracles share and maybe don't share in common. However, there will be a course coming up, and this is at noon here with snacks served. There'll be a little discussion about that for those that are interested. Number 3, By golly, there's a date on it now. It'll be offered in September, and books will be available. That's A Course in Miracles. So that was the third one. Penny's around, so she can answer that for you. And something called Amazing Face. I think there's a song written about that, isn't it? Amazing Face. Oh, never mind. Anyway, Cynthia, is she here? You don't see her. Okay. There's some info on the tables at in the entryway, so you'll be talking to Cynthia about that. And there's also some information online. I did actually go to Unity of Flagstaff.org. Yes, it's right there. So go look there. There's a great calendar there. It's pretty complete, by the way. Okay, so now let's get back to the other good, receiving the good. Greeters are up already. And now it's time for our abundant sharing. Go for it. Trina, I'm out of your way.
Hit it, Maestro.
I used to walk
Down
in
the
shade
shade
with
with those blues on parade.
but
Now I'm not afraid. This rover's crossed over.
And
If I never had a cent, I'd be rich as Rockefeller. Gold dust at my feet on the sunny side of the street.
Bring it on up, guys. Thank you, guys. I'm going to grab that mic, maybe. Sam, I hope I don't break your mic. Oh, good. I'm going to do it from here because I don't want to break this thing, whoever it belongs to. Is that still on? Yeah. Okay, good. Okay, so let's all recite the abundance thought for the week. Is it up there yet? Go ahead and pop it over one. Okay, let's go with this first. We are one with Source. We are abundant and generous. We are open to our good. Thank you, Spirit. For the very first time, I've actually read the thing up there on the far wall. It's been there for how long? Okay, and so the abundance thought for the week, which isn't up there, is just 3 times we repeat, we are abundance. So here we go. We are abundance. We are abundance. We are abundance. There we go. So thank you, and go ahead and please. There's one other thing. Could you hold up that little can there, Kay, if you can, maybe you can do that. This is a heavy can. It weighs pounds. So I've been collecting change for quite a while in something called a God can, and it's finally full, almost completely full. And we're going to start collecting change here at some point. There will be an upcoming announcement someday about that. But if you got change, start throwing it in a bowl somewhere, and you can come way down the ushers at some point. Thank you. Okay, now let's say the prayer for protection. The night of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Have a blessed week, folks. Thank you.